response from the SG, Edwin Sifuna, was that they were not supposed, they've not endorsed anyone.
Yes.
Aisha Jumwa and Suleiman Dori have come out clearly to endorse Ruto's bid for 2022, and that's where the problem is. Look at Ford Kenya.
Yes.
Ford Kenya, the deputy party leader is Boni Halwale, right?
Yes, yes.
Boni Halwale is supporting William Ruto's presidency.
Yes.
He's not been removed from the party. Yes. They have disagreed here with the party, with the SG,
yes.
On a show that I've been hosting.
Yes.
But we've not had so much of that pressure. So the contention here is the fact that they have gone ahead to endorse the deputy president for 2022. Yes. That's where the problem.
Actually, and that is understandable. But that's why I drew back first to the issue of the party. Because the party constitution, especially on matters like this, takes supremacy. There is, of course, the freedom of association and all this, but there are regulations even from the Registrar of Political Parties, and it is clear, especially when you come out strongly endorsing a particular candidate. It's like today, say, if my Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. decided to endorse to endorse, say, William Ruto for presidency, that automatically generates conflict within the political party. So, in my view, in the spirit of building the bridges, I think this is a matter that could have easily been addressed more amicably within the political party, that is ODM. But insisting on pushing it to the level that it has gotten, to me, again, brings in an element of dishonesty, because there has been a lot of confusion in the political landscape, believe me, for the last 1 year. One day this is working, the following day this is no longer existent. That is the kind of confusion you're mentioning, even about Boni Halwale. But you see, Boni Halwale is not elected in office. He's just a party official. But he's still bound by the party. And again, it depends on what that particular party constitution says. All party constitutions are not standard or uniform.
Okay.
Yes.
David.
Ken,
this is deep.
We are a
now
country,
that you're a government official.
We are a country of laws. The reason I am the biggest proponent for this war against graft is that we have to demonstrate to Kenyans that there is a price to pay for breaking the law, that there is a price to pay for doing wrong. What is the law? ODM has its laws. The Political Parties Act stipulates the basis for ejection or expulsion from a party. If you are pushing the agenda of a competing entity, you are deemed to have left your party. Now, let me draw the line and delineate what Raila and Uhuru have versus what the two are doing.
Okay, go ahead.
Raila and Uhuru have an agreement. It's not a merger of manifestos. Raila has not jumped into Jubilee and been taken up by its manifesto. They made a proposal as leaders and said this is a common area of interest. It is not about our bid politically. It's about salvaging a sinking nation. That's what they have. On the other side, we have Deputy President who is running for 2022. But the point of convergence for these parliamentarians with the Deputy President is not on the agreement made between NASA and Jubilee leaders on the roadmap to move the country forward. Rather, it is political. When it gets to that point of pursuing the political agenda of another party, then we have to agree. Or else, these things will continue happening and the law as is will never be followed. So people will know that there is no punishment for it. Until Neto Adhola in Rarieda constituency was kicked out by IEBC and was denied the chance to even run for office, people thought it was a joke. You could go on, do the things against the wish of IEBC, disobey its rules, and get away with it. There must be a demonstration that you can't get away with it. That said, I think I watched Aisha saying that was now water under the bridge, which for me is akin to a remorse. And saying, if you find this offensive, I am sorry. In that spirit, whoever seeks forgiveness ought to be forgiven. Whoever does not seek forgiveness
must be punished.
Yes, the law has to take its course. If we do not do this, because Ben here may be the next party leader for another party, and I will be a party leader elsewhere, or we may have a party and Ken is a party leader of another party in the future, then we have one of our party members undermining us and rubbing it on our faces, knowing very well that there is no punishment for it. And I tell you, no parliamentarian is usually ready to go back for a by-election. I know Aisha did very well, and that was bold of her, only coming to second after Raila Odinga, the ones I know who have resigned and gone back to seek a fresh mandate. Aisha resigned as women rep and went back when the Malindi seat fell vacant to run for MP, and she won. But Aisha only won because she was on ODM. Kilifi and Homa Bay are the only counties that had ODM from the top to the bottom. MCAs, governor, MPs, MCAs, everyone. So you can imagine how strong then that party is. And in the coastal region, Raila Odinga's support is
phenomenal.
You cannot run against that grain, however fantabulous you may be. So they need to reconsider. And if they have seen that it is William Ruto that carries their aspirations, which is respectful, and which would be wonderful, then they must not speak from two sides of the cheek. I mean, it puts me in an awkward place. Aisha is my very good friend, but that's it. Then you must seek a fresh mandate and say, okay, I think this is causing political heat. I believe this is the way to go for me. And therefore, I have resigned from ODM. Now, let's go back and seek the people's mandate.
Okay. We have that story from last week. If Mike, you could just get it, then we can play it. But Ben, your reflections on the same, the politics of intolerance once more, as we look for that story.
Well,
how do we do? David has gone to the level. The next question, then is it now prudent that we forget the apology and saying, Aisha, if you had her statement, it was very noble and she was apologetic, but we just forget and then say, you have done well, let's just close this chapter and move on.
This still brings back to us to the issue of institutions. You see, institutions ultimately are individuals. And they can only be as effective and they can only be as efficient as the individuals who are running or managing them. And also institutions can be as dedicated or as lackluster depending on the individuals that are running them. When I listen to my brother here, David, one thing is clear, that they are very passionate about the position that the party has taken, which there is nothing wrong with that. Secondly, when you talk about the rule of law, it becomes a lot easy to demonstrate also to the people that as a party, you are committed to that infrastructure. I'll take you a little back. You remember there was a time immediately after the 2013 elections, there was a lot of back and forth between Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Dr. Alfred Mutua, Machakos governor. And eventually, Alfred had to leave and create his own party. Yes. But he actually created his own party while still in office as a member of Wiper, because Maendeleo Chap, he only ran on it last election. But he ran the full term while Maendeleo Chap was still running, and he was the party leader. So,
but there was just disagreement. It wasn't about...
but you see, this one actually had gone to a whole new level, because right now, Aisha Jumwa has not joined Jubilee or has not joined URP, if it still exists.
No, she has declared. She said, sisi tuwaitwa tumepanda na hatushuki.
Yes.
Right? She said something like that.
Yeah. But you see, that is in speech. But
officially.
Yes. But officially, Dr. Alfred Mutua, in this particular case, you remember, went all the way to register a political party. And even the party started activities and recruitment drives and all that. And he would do public rallies even in different parts of the country, if you remember very well, before the last elections. While he was still serving as a Wiper governor up to August 8th, 2017. So I think the component of tolerance or intolerance is entirely dependent now on the institutions, because it would have been very easy for Wiper to strip him of the governorship
at that time, yes,
at that particular time and call for a by-election. Yeah. So this entirely now rests on the political parties. But I agree with the latter sentiments of David. If indeed she feels remorseful and genuinely demonstrates that she is remorseful about her actions, then it is okay. But if indeed she still believes in the conviction that she wants to join the deputy president in campaigning for him for 2022, the decent and the decent thing is for her to leave the party. She cannot be campaigning for the deputy president while as an ODM sitting elected leader. That actually cannot apply. It's only that impunity has really crept into this country to an extent whereby people find getting away with things that offend the law normal. We must rise to that point. And for that, I would particularly stand with ODM. If she's convicted that she wants to be a part of the deputy president's team, and the deputy president is not a member of ODM and is not a leader in the ODM party, then she has to leave. It is not optional. Okay. Yes.
And this is not the first. You remember 2016 with Babu Namwamba? He was the SG then, but he didn't leave. But he went on to lose his seat when he ran in Jubilee. And you remember at that time there was also, I think, the Kwale governor also. But him now, he just he held on and eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, loyalty is the currency in politics. Loyalty.
Yes.
I know that even the DP would very much love that if Aisha really means it, she would step out and go contest in, you know, under the URP or Jubilee the other Jubilee party to become MP for that place as a demonstration of loyalty to that cause. Same as Dory. I mean, there shouldn't be two ways about it. I do not think that William Ruto in his party would bear with anyone who is errant to the extent of supporting a competing interest for an election that's coming.
Okay.
You see, the Alfred Keteers have been problematic, but not politically. They have not said, Sisi, we are going to support Raila Odinga in his political quest. No. They have decided to just play their politics down there, fight for farmers, demonstrate who the problem is in the fight, you know, for farmers, who is the problem with the National Cereals and Produce Board, who was paid wrongly and rightly, but they have not gone to the level and extent of saying, Sisi, we are going to support Musalia for president. No. So loyalty is the currency in politics. And those who have grown in politics have been loyal to the causes they choose. It is not a problem to change course. That's expected. But when you change course, change course. When you say I've dumped ODM, I'm going into URP, change course, go.
Do it.
Just go. When you say I've changed course, I've joined ODM, change course, stick there.
Okay.
Because eventually that's the way you will also show the rest that you mean what you say what you mean.
Okay. So what is the next process once you have been expelled and letters have been written to you? What happens?
I think the political parties tribunal, if they want to go to that. After that, then what should happen?
Contest the party's constitution.
No. What should happen at that point, because the power lies with ODM, they will write a letter. This is no longer our member. This one stands expelled.
Register political parties?
Not even register. They will write to the speaker and copy the registrar of political parties.
Okay. Yes. No, but they can't write to the speaker before they deregister them. So I deregister you first from the political party. I tell the registrar you're no longer a member. So the registrar is the one to write to the majority leader, although they notify the minority leader to say that he's not. So the minority leader will then notify the speaker, right? But they have to deregister you first before they notify the speaker.
Who deregisters? It's the party that
deregisters. It's the party, but through the
they notify.
They
just notify.
Yeah, the registrar of political parties only works with the register submitted by the parties.
By the party, yes. This is our member. So we have to revoke your membership.
Yes.
So once that letter is done, actually, it is the same process as David is indicating. Then it means that that particular person continues to serve in parliament as an imposter because they are no longer a member of that particular party.